Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
What's going on? This is Totally Blitzed podcast, the show with shots, smoke, and football. I'm Paul Pick'em Win'em Contra, the man with the big beard and even bigger bets. And as always, I'm joined by.
Huh? Oh.
The ugly
Hey, what's cracking, young? What's cracking, young niggas? You know who it be. It's that boy Kev, Water Voice Boy, a.k.a. Lil KK, a.k.a. the Don PYE, a.k.a. the boy with the pearly whites and the clean mirror, because I got a haircut today. Somebody got a haircut. But nah, man, we had to talk football with you, man. Hey, man, hey, don't worry. Some of the people are listening on the audio, so you Gucci. But we here to talk football, and we here to talk that big shit because it's week 14, and it's about to go down.
And only 3 more weeks until playoff football.
Playoffs.
But you said you wanted to shake it up this week. Last week we did the segment with the pretenders versus contender quarterbacks, and this week you had a little something to shake it up with.
See, people don't know, right? See, people be thinking that like I'm all Falcons 100% of the time. It's because they're right, but I'm also a historian because what people don't know is that the Falcons are known for getting plays done on them. So like, if you ever go watch somebody's highlight film, any generational player, any point in time, you'll see a play on them against the Falcons. So watching film just lets me know, like, God damn, Matt. Like, you know how many times I've watched film and be like, God damn, Matt Ryan, how you let him do that to you?
Yeah. Little known fact, the only team to appear in every highlight film known to man is the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm telling you, you didn't know that, but like, I'm a historian, man. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Derek Jeter new Yankee highlights, and they were the Falcons.
I'm telling you, straight to left field on the. So I'm just sitting here like, this is just like Tom Brady all over again. These men is at the GOAT.
It's like, come on, Matt Ryan, you can't pitch that.
But nah, this week I want to talk about some shit that I feel like doesn't get talked about because a lot of these people are still in the league. But let's talk the 2011 draft.
Ooh, that's a banger.
See, look, this is what crazy because it came up on my YouTube playlist the other day, so I just clicked on it because I didn't need something to smoke and watch. But the thing about it was, I remember this draft. Like I remember I don't do no drafts that's not my job. Like I don't have to pay attention to that stuff. Even though it is important, very part of the league, but like, I'm more of a high school. I want to get the boys to the draft. I don't really give a fuck about the draft. But this shit was interesting because like they got a lot of names on this. But I remember being in the car and hearing like, oh, Cam Newton just went number 1 overall, and I was like, all right, cool, that's straight. But them boys really had some names and some real hitters from 1 all the way to 100. Like really 200, 300, 2. I don't even know how many people in the draft, but really 1 to 200 from 1, 2 to 200. Like them boys went crazy. What do you remember anything from the 2011 draft?
Oh, bro, I remember some bangers. First off, one of our best players ever, and like this is one of the, you know how O-line never gets the shine that they should get, but one of the best Dolphins players ever was Mike Pouncey, the center, little brother to like Michelle Pouncey. You remember the Pouncey brothers? But that man, we drafted him that year, and typically we never get it right with big man offensive linemen. So I remember him specifically, but the one thing I also remember was you remember that they were on a lockout that year. They didn't sign a CBA yet. They were really threatening to not let people play to the point that since they were locked out, franchises were not allowed to trade their players. You could trade your picks, but you couldn't trade like, oh, let me get the first pick and I'll trade you my defensive tackle and my 4th pick. Like, no players are allowed to be traded. Only picks were allowed to be traded. And once players were drafted, you couldn't trade them because of the fact that the lockout was still going to happen. Like, they didn't allow any of those business moves to be made. So once you drafted that player, that was on your team.
That's just crazy. Shit's crazy. This was like this is going to be like a spot in history that's not, I want to say not get talked about, but it's going to look over like, oh, wow, like that really happened.
Yeah, and my favorite thing in this whole draft, I actually didn't know this, so I looked back and like did some digging into it. The Ravens drafted Jimmy Smith with like the 27th pick, but they really had the 26th pick and they ran out of time. So the Chiefs moved up a pick and the Baltimore moved down one, and the Chiefs drafted like Jonathan Baldwin, some nobody, and Jimmy Smith, who's still on the Ravens today. So like that pick worked out well for him. But I thought that was pretty cool because I've never seen someone run out of time, and this was one of the first years they did a 10-minute draft clock. So not like they didn't have time.
Imagine how crazy that draft room is. Like, imagine the beef, the wars. Like, no, we're getting blah blah blah. No, we're getting blah, because you couldn't really go wrong in this draft. So it was just like you really were They was in that bitch going mad, and they got a lifetime player that they've been on the team forever, fan favorite, probably people remember and love. And that means if he played on 2011, that means he was on the team that won the Super Bowl. If I got my years mixed up.
I think you're right. I think he was a rookie the year they won it.
Yeah, so that means he was there for that. So that's lit. That boy is like a real long, and they got that, and like they almost did it. Like they could have fucked all that up. Chiefs could have took it and kept it moving. But the Chiefs needed a receiver that they probably didn't throw a touchdown to at that time.
Yeah, I bet he was killing shit on the practice squad.
But nah, hey, so tell us about the top 10 though, because the top 10 went crazy.
Yeah, top 10. This is probably one of the most, if not the most talented top 10 I've ever seen. It's probably the best defensive top 10 I've ever, like when it comes to this defensive talent, the whole draft was just crazy. But the first overall pick, everyone knows, you already said earlier, was Cam Newton. Just came off his Heisman. Just won the national championship 1 year after being from JUCO, like a crazy success story.
After 2 years after being over here in Gainesville, you left behind Tim Tebow. Which what's funny about that? People in Florida, people at UF knew, everybody in Gainesville knew Cam Newton was way better than Tim Tebow, but like that was Urban Meyer's boy. And it's funny when you fast forward to like this offseason. Everybody knew Tim Tebow ain't have it, but hey, that's Urban Meyer's boy.
And that is I just wanted, because you reminded me, the James Robinson going to the bench and Carlos Hyde getting more touches. Someone reminded me he went to Ohio State, and Carlos Hyde is really Urban's boy. So he has a tendency to do that. But yeah, Cam Newton, my favorite single line when reading any of these scout reports, and none of them else said it other than Cam's, was there was no single player in NFL to compare to Cam Newton. And I was just like, wow. Like, that was how, people can hate, people can say what they want. He wasn't a great thrower, this and that. But, hey, no one else can say that. But he was, they claimed that he wasn't going to get defensive coordinators problem running like Vic did, which I think is a bold-faced lie looking back at it. That was his biggest weapon.
He broke the record for rushing touchdowns as for a quarterback as a rookie.
Yep. But he 2015 MVP offensive player of the year, 15-1 that same year. They lost the Super Bowl to Von Miller and the Broncos, who we'll talk about more. He was a one-team All-Pro player. He made the All-Rookie team. He was Rookie of the Year, and he holds 2 records. The most running touchdowns for a QB at 73 and the most in the season at 14.
That's amazing. Like, he literally was everything they expected him to be. Like, he did his thing, college, NFL. He just didn't get the ring. He just didn't do an A.J. Hawk and get the college ring and the Super Bowl ring. But they was close. That defense was just way too much. But on to number 2, the dude that he played in the Super Bowl, which is the only time this has ever happened in history, the Super Bowl 50 MVP, Von Mother Truckin' Miller. That boy is a truck. You got a dog, currently on the Rams, But you got a. How many Pro Bowls has he gone to?
He's been to Pro Bowl 8 times.
8-time Pro Bowler. And what was his scouting report?
He was projected top 5. He was he was already projected top 5, but in the Senior Bowl, he was just the best player on the field. And they just like in the Super Bowl, he was the best player on the field. So when he's amongst other great stars, his star shines brightest. And so he went number 2. He was undersized, but he had extreme athleticism. Warren Sapp did say, like, oh, even though he's 6'4", 250, even though he's not 6'4", 255, you can beat that when you have a great first step and elite speed, which is exactly what he's done his whole career.
Shit is great, man. Shit is great. I got nothing but respect for that guy.
He's a 3-time first team All Pro and 4-time second team. So 7 times he was considered, if not the best outside linebacker, number 2. And he's second among active players with sacks at 110.
Say less, man. But like, what else was cracking, man? Who was number 3?
Like I said, this defensive picks were this absolute monster. Number 3 was Marcel Darris or Darris. I can't really say his last name. It's not spelled like how I want to say it, so I don't want to mess it up.
Darris. That boy probably French.
Maybe, but they compared him to Vince Wilfork in the middle, which is very similar. He was a big motherfucker, bro. He was strong. He was 320 running a 4.9, which nowadays doesn't sound crazy, but 2011 there were not many 300 plus people running into the 4s, and he knocked out McCoy in the Rose Bowl and got a pick 6. Oh no, in the championship game he knocked out Colt McCoy for Alabama when he was on Alabama, and so his stock flew, which is why you'll see someone ball out in those national championship games and they kind of move up a couple spots just like he did.
That shit's crazy, man. And then you got Mother Trucking. At number 4, you got AJ Green, which is scary because this is a draft that also has another great receiver. You know, I'm a receivers guy, so I was on the scouting report.
Great one.
But AJ Green was undoubtedly the best receiver at the league. Paul, can you tell us why though?
Because they're comparing this man to fucking Larry Fitzgerald coming out of college.
That's insane. This is prime Larry.
He was
like just played in the Super Bowl like 4 years before this.
What they said, he's the best prospect at his position in the past couple of years. They even predicted the Bengals are going to get him and probably dump T.O. or Chad Ochocinco because he was coming in as a rookie with those 2 vets to kind of take over their spot.
And that's exactly what they did.
Exactly.
But what about the fact that Mother Trucking – damn, I was about to say something, and you made me remember T.O. for some reason. AJ Green.
Was it about him making the Pro Bowls in his first 7 seasons 7 times?
I think that's exactly what it was. That had to have been it, because.
No, because I didn't know this because me and you both are kind of an AJ Green. We're a little lower on AJ Green than what a lot of other people are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it has anything to do with Julio being in the same draft class with you, but I just know I'm not the biggest on AJ Green because his footwork isn't all that. He kind of uses his athleticism a lot. And the funny thing to me was it was kind of vice versa between him and Julio's scouting report. AJ Green was said to have the best footwork, and then Julio had bad footwork, even though I think looking back at it, we all know it was the other way around.
Facts. AJ Green was that dude, and was that dude coming out of draft. He had a great rookie season. Him and Andy Dalton really had chemistry, and that's not something you see like out of a rookie quarterback. And like it shows that the Bengals do that because they're doing that to this day with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So it was real interesting that they did that, and it worked as well as it did for as long as it did.
But this next pick, though, I think I won't say steal because everyone's been great, but like, hey, again, he was considered maybe the best guy in the draft to be able to get that number.
Definitely, he was definitely the best athlete in the draft for being able to play multiple phases of the ball and excel as well as he did, and then being able to be as consistent and play that many great seasons as he did. Who are we talking about though, Paul?
The one and only Pete.
Come on, man. I don't even know his nickname, but that boy is just the truth.
They claimed him to be the most surefire thing in this draft that was loaded with nothing but surefire things. He didn't even do his pro day. He just did the combine. He did so good at the combine. He didn't do nothing for pro day.
They said he was the best athlete in this draft, and like the Cardinals got us, like you said, it wasn't a steal, but like the Cardinals, it was like to number 5. Bet I'm taking this, no problem. Because everybody went for something that they needed, which they did.
Continue. My apologies.
And like he was the best athlete because nobody else the way he could return on them. He had the speed and the recovery speed and the breakaway speed, and then the fact that he can run back kicks and the fact that he can score touchdowns on defense. Like he was really that dude.
Yeah. Doesn't that kind of, minus the special teams, but like the way they're getting their best athlete and one of the best defenders by far, doesn't that kind of remind you of Micah Parsons? How they took, like when he was going into draft, he was considered the best probably defensive player, but everyone went to what they need, and he kind of fell all the way down to like now he's just an immediate plug-in player. And I'm not gonna say Parsons is gonna go on and do what he did, but it's almost a similar scenario where like you can't be mad at the picks in front of them because people got what they needed. But damn, they really did just get the best athlete in the whole draft.
Nah, dead ass. Like same thing with the Patriots and Mac Jones. Like they got the best quarterback. Like you can't really think like can't be mad at everybody else because everybody else. You can't think like that was a bad decision for Mac Jones to kind of go to 15. But it was just like, oh shit, like if he's gonna be here, y'all didn't think he was gonna be that dude. Say like, I'll take him.
Yeah, and it worked out well. 8-time Pro Bowler in his first 8 years, 3-time on the first team. And he made the all-decade team for the 2010s. And he led the league in punt return yards and touchdowns in 2011. So just like you said, he came in and did both sides of the ball.
Immediately. And he's still playing great defense to this day. And like he just got a win yesterday.
That's true. But how about you tell me about this next kid on the block?
Hey, yeah, there's just some guy that, I ain't never really heard about. Sight. Number 6 out of Alabama, the best athlete in the draft. They said Patrick Peterson could have been, but this guy is the best athlete in the draft at the time. That boy Julio, my cousin Julio Jones. That ninja was the truth, and the Falcons gave up an arm and a leg to the Browns to get him, and it was worth everybody. But here's my thing, Paul. We traded away, I believe we traded away 5 picks to get Julio Jones.
Woo. It's like a Jared Goff Cup trade.
But my question is, why do we have to give away so many picks? Why couldn't we just trade like a player or something?
Because, like I said, with this draft, it was that lockout on the other side. So you can't even trade your players. You had to trade your draft picks.
Give me a quick 1 minute description on what the lockdown meant.
You couldn't trade none of your players, even whenever you drafted the player that you did draft. It wasn't official that there would even be a contract for him yet. Like there was no paperwork being done, so you couldn't even trade the player because technically you didn't even own the rights to your player yet that you just drafted. And it was just this big, and it was going for so long that they really might not have played. Like all these players were being drafted, and they were someone coming up later is Jake Locker. He got drafted by the Angels for baseball, and he was really contemplating on going over to play for the Angels if the lockout would go on longer. But that basically explains the lockout.
But yeah, this shit is crazy. Cleveland traded a number 6 overall pick to the Atlanta for 5 draft picks. It's first, second, and 4th round draft picks in 2011, plus this 1st and 4th round picks in 2012. The Falcons traded up to draft Alabama star Julio Jones to get Matt Ryan a dynamic option on the outside. The Browns, on the other hand, used their picks to get defensive lineman Phil Taylor, receiver Greg Little, fullback Owen blah, 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 and quarterback, your favorite, Brandon Weeden. And they packaged the other pick to trade for our running back, Trent Richardson, in 2012. So the best thing they got was Trent Richardson, while we got Julio Jet Jones, and he was the number 1 in yardage in for what the entire 2010s. He was considered the best receiver by most of his class, and a lot of people understand that he was that motherfucking dude. So that was our best. I think that's our best decision in Falcons history in the last 20 years. Go for Julio Jones. Since at least trading picking Michael Vick with the first pick.
Yeah, I mean his big trait that he had that no one else had in this draft class under the scouting reports was game changer, and I think that fits him perfectly. And I think that is true. 7-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro team, Hall of on the decade teams for the 2010s. But he has 93.8 yards per game, which is most all time. Like for a wide receiver, like that's crazy to think. Per game, he's averaging the most all time. He was top 3 in yards 6 times, top 7 times, top 1 3 times. So he really never had a bad season with them boys, unless he was hurt or something, but never once.
And you can't forget his season in 2016 when he had like the 3rd most receiving yards all time. It's just the fact that like he would get blanketed, so that's why it was always tough for him to get in the end zone. But at the beginning, when the chemistry was right, he was young, he was a red zone, he was a deep threat, and Matt Ryan was just fuck it, throwing it in triple coverage. There was nothing you could do about that boy. Nothing.
Facts, and he's considered the best out of his generation, out of that receiver. Like, and for 2000, like I don't think there's any better receiver from 2010 and on.
Facts. So we had pick number 6. We got like let's finish out the top 10 picks and then we'll move on to something else.
Oh yeah, we can actually kind of run because number 7, great Alden Smith, but he only really had 2 seasons of prominence, and then off-field issues kicked him out of the league.
But he was that dude though. We gotta remember that.
Hey, how many sacks did he put up in the first 2 seasons?
You tell me.
It was 33, I think, or 33 and a half, but it was the most all-time.
Nice.
And his comparison was JPP, so I think they kind of hit the nail on the head. It's just the fact that he couldn't get some off-field issues off the field, and he became off the field. But then on the 8th pick, like I said, after Cam Newton, there's a huge cliff when it comes to talents of quarterbacks in the first round. It kind of picks back up in the second round, but this was the first big miss. Jake Locker. He was getting comparisons to Steve Young. He was going to be some potential first-round pick. He had some insane mobility and big arm. To me, but he was a project at the position. He would have to be worked on for a couple of years, but the raw talent was insane with the way he could run and throw 80-yard bombs. To me, it sounds like he was potentially going to be some type of Josh Allen hybrid. Never panned out. He was 9. Oh, what's up?
Oh, I didn't. You can see what you was doing.
I was gonna say he was 9-14 as a starter. He was hurt almost every year, and he went 27-22 TD interception ratio. He has no awards, and he was just out of the league after pretty much that.
And this is a guy that this is a Titans team that hadn't won a playoff game since 2003. So like when they was putting their bets on the quarterback, they were putting their bets on the quarterback. They thought this guy out of Washington was gonna be the one.
Hey, it happens all the time.
Should have went with defense.
Or O-line. Because the next guy on the list, Tyron Smith, offensive lineman for the Cowboys.
He still plays for them, doesn't he?
Yeah, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first team All-Pro, a couple times second team. But hey, he's just that. Like, this was when they're getting their offensive line right and then becoming that running team and protecting Romo. So he's still a viable piece. Like even to this day, I think he's ranked top 15 at tackle.
No, that's a great pick, and like that's probably one of the best. That was probably one of the best picks until they picked up Zeke and Dak, back-to-back rounds, because like that was a lifetime. That's probably one of Jerry Jones's boys. You feel me?
Yeah, no, loves him. The next one is Blaine Gabbert. We don't really need to talk about him. I want to spend more time on like he was another bust. Unless you have some.
I say we cut it here because the next one's a splash. Now
that's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't.
Hey, this is a good story because you hit us with a good story on why Blaine Gabbert got into the top 10. Because if you're from Florida, you remember having to watch Blaine Gabbert because you wanted to watch Maurice Jones-Drew tear people up. So you used to have to watch Blaine Gabbert and just look like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But
13 and
why did
35 as a starter.
Alex? But why did Blaine Gabbert go into the draft this year, Paul? What's your hypothesis?
I will give him some credit because Andrew Luck had declared that he was gonna go stay back for another year. And he was gonna be. Everyone knew Andrew Luck was gonna be the number 1 pick or something, the best quarterback we've seen since Peyton Manning. So he was gonna go back to Stanford for one more year. And Blaine Gabbert had said he was gonna stay for one more year, but once he heard that Andrew Luck was coming back, and I believe there was another quarterback. I just can't remember his name, but there's 2 quarterbacks that are already gonna be first round talents, and Gabbert knew he could not compare. So he
RG3 was on the way.
Way young. Oh, and that was another big thing. Like Gabbert, he was a super young, not that good, just had this athleticism, didn't pan out. But Tyron Smith is young. He only did like 2 years in college, and he was 20 years old. That's why he's still going to this day.
To this day.
But yeah, that caps the top 10.
But yeah, hey man, we're gonna be breaking down the 2011 draft because there was a lot of crazy stuff that went down right there. We just want to keep bringing that stuff up and revisiting a little bit of football history because like there's a lot of shit. The 2011 draft is cool because like a lot of us can remember that happening. That was only 10 years ago.
Yeah. Just where were you 10 years ago? And where was your
I was literally in the car. I think I was in 6th grade. But I was literally in the car on the way to my step granny's house. And they said the first pick of the NFL draft is Cam Newton. And it was crazy because like I was a black quarterback that went number 1. Like that's something you don't really see too often.
No, 100%. Him and Michael Vick, I think, probably have been the only 2 at that time.
I think Vince Young might have because he was that dude in college.
Oh yeah.
I could be wrong though because Vince Young was that dude. Vince Young was like the Kyler Murray before Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was like he watched Vince Young highlights back in the day.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 2011 draft class. That's the first 10 picks, but there's so many picks to go around. We'll hop back into that later on.
We got y'all next week, man. Stay tuned, man. 2011 draft. We're keeping you up to date with everything going on, man. And just know we're starting off the next one with a splash. But let's get it, man. Paul, what we finna get cracking, man?
We're jumping into the Thursday night recap real quick. We had the Steelers and the Vikings. Oh, there was a lot of emotion. The Steelers looked dead for about 2.5 quarters, and then all of a sudden they start. It's 29-0 at one point. Worth changing the channel over, and then next thing you know, they show life. They start scoring. They get a couple of interceptions. Oh no, they get 1 interception, I believe. Defense starts clamping up. Offense starts moving. Score a couple of touchdowns. You know.
Them damn Steelers, man. I chose the Purple People Eaters because why? I be correct about Thursday nights. I just don't be wrong. That's consistent.
I'm not even upset with them losing because I need the Steelers. I need some AFC teams to lose for the Dolphins to climb. The Vikings winning had nothing to do with my playoff race, but the Steelers losing meant a lot.
The Vikings just told me like, hey man, you know something. Like even though you don't trust them boys, you know something. You know you don't ever pick them. But I like this game because it was a tale of 2 tapes. If you fell asleep during the 3rd quarter, like Coach JB said he did from the Slapdick podcast, which is the Wiz, which is funny that other coaches say that. I thought that was just a Coach Stokes thing. But
real with yourself sometimes.
Yeah. But if you doze off, that shit sucks because this game came in because I don't know where this was a tale of 2 games. It looks like the Steelers quit on them immediately. Like it looked like the Steelers season was kind of over. It looked like they were just gonna only beat teams that they're supposed to beat or beat teams under 500. But nah, this team fought. This team did what they were supposed to do. And even though they lost this game, it was the respect because it was 24 or 22-0?
29-0. At one point, if they would have made that touchdown go to overtime and do whatever, they would have had the biggest comeback in NFL history because it was 28-0 is the biggest 28-0 is the biggest comeback of all time.
Yeah, that's good. That's a lot.
Yeah, they were playing history in their hands.
So yeah, that shit's insane. They tried to do it and they were close. But I wonder what was the win like? Because they definitely missed back-to-back kicks. Like the Vikings missed the kick, then he probably missed the PAT, and then the Steelers missed the kick. Like the wind had to have been insane out there.
I don't think it's bad actually. I just think they had a few misses, to be honest.
Because they made all the other ones after that. So I was like, I don't know, did they get catch a gust or something?
I have no idea, but I do because Greg Joseph missed like an early 50-yarder, but then they missed a couple extra points. I think he missed like an extra point, and then Boswell missed his first kick as well. It was just an early missed kicks, but by the end of the game, they kind of got their act together.
This is cool, but this game really didn't give me what I needed. Because first off, I like how we took a second to talk about the Steelers because don't nobody care about them boys no more. TJ Watt, we hope that boy he was out with the groin injury after the first quarter?
Yeah, it was halfway through the second quarter.
But at the end of the day, it didn't matter because Dalvin Cook ran all over his defense, having the highest rushing yards rushing yards in the game this season. What 205?
Yeah,
2 touchdowns. Like he got ram drug tested when he went back into to Vikings HQ today. Like that shit was insane. He ran all over them boys, and there was just nothing they could do. And it was like everybody was out of place. You could tell that TJ Watt not being there kind of meant a lot because the D lineman would be out of place, so the linebacker would have to get in charge had to go cover for the D lineman, and the safeties would have to go cover for them. And like once somebody starts running all over you like that, that play action is unstoppable. Like that touchdown with Justin Jefferson, he had open because like the safeties gotta be ready for it because like this running back's been getting all the way back, so they've been having to make tackles. So you don't want to be 20 yards down the field trying to get a full steam and try to tackle Dalvin Cook. He's not going to look good, especially one-on-one. It's not going to turn out good for you. So, like, I like this game. This game was lit. Even though the Steelers lost, they showed they're like, maybe they can be that winning record team. They just got to keep fighting. And when I say fight, I mean fight.
Yeah, and hey, shout out to the Vikings. This was a 2-minute drive. The offense, it was a 1-possession game. Steelers had the ball, and their defense finally got a stop. They were 0 for 8 on the 2-minute drill against opposing teams trying to score with it 1 possession. So
and I will give out. Oh my bad.
Oh no, but that drop catch from Veermouth, I will say it is catchable ball, but it's not an easy catchable ball. Like people seem like, oh, it's on his hands. That's all it needs to be. It's like, yeah, as soon as he catches it, Harrison Smith is punching it, and like at the same time as it's hitting his hands, like that ball is shooting down. So this isn't no fucking backyard football. This one-on-one. It's like no, there's 3 people on one. The end hit going NFL speed with NFL talent around you. So still a catchable ball. I will say that though.
I will say that, but I will give out 2 shout-outs. One, Deontay Johnson. That boy got some great catches. Big Ben definitely threw some darts and some great marks, some great on the point shots. But Deontay Johnson made some great catches. I think the receivers made a lot of great catches because that's what brought them back in this game. Chase Claypool had
one-on-ones.
And the Vikings defense had a lot of penalties late. I think there's a lot of penalties in the secondary that's kind of caused them to make this game as close as it was. But like the receivers didn't care. They was getting flagged, and the refs was throwing the flag. They were still catching that shit. But Najee Harris stepping up big, being able to catch out the backfield, catch a touchdown, run a touchdown in, and keep that defense honest really made a difference the second half. Because Big Ben could have kept throwing those darts, but if that defense didn't have to stay honest, I don't know if he would have been able, if those already tiny holes would have been as big as they were. So like the margin of error would have turned up. But like shout out them. And lastly, I said Big Ben was a mobile, but on 4th and 4, that boy took off and got it. So hey man, I'm eating my words right now. That's Benny from Benji Wheel Shop. Like that's Benny from the Wheel Shop. Like I don't know, man. That boy Benji might have he might have some gas in the tank that he's not telling nobody. Real racing gas.
Yeah, we'll see going forward with them. They're still on the brink of playoffs. Same with the Vikings. But
It's a great game though. Solid Thursday night.
very good. Sunday though, we got a lot of games to go through. A lot of good ones. I think this might be the best Sunday yet with how even a lot of these games are coming out. We got 49ers at the Bengals.
Mm. Damn, this isn't even last week of football because that's a tough one off top. And that's not even a tough one.
That's the first game on the list right there. I'm looking at it. Bengals at home, and they're the underdog. But there's always a recipe that I love to follow. So just give me the Bengals as the home dog here. Joey B's finger might be a little bit swollen, but I think their run game with Joe Mixon, because the reason why they lost to the Chargers was they tried to make it a shootout early. They didn't try to feed the run game. And I think this game they're going to be forced to feed the run game because of his finger, and he'll still make his play action throws to Jamar Chase. He still got that connection with him. He ain't no bitch. And then the 49ers, they lose games. I think Elijah Mitchell might be out with concussion protocol, who's been balling at the running back. So Debo might be back, so he might take some snaps at running back. Who knows? But still, I like the Bengals.
I respect. That's a great pick. I'm doing the same. I got the Bengals like a motherfucker. But I got the Bengals because Jimmy G threw two touchdowns, an interception, and 199 yards. George Kittle caught 181 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All
Somebody that wasn't even on the field 5 weeks ago is the only reason why that game that he had a somewhat decent game. So I'm not trusting the 49ers if they're not running the ball. They're not coming ready to run down their throats. I'm not trusting them. But I feel that that's the Bengals defense is the one thing that they can stop is the run. I don't feel like the run got too crazy last week. They was able to make stops. So I'm taking the Bengals definitely. And like I want to see what Joe Burrow and these young receivers got going on because T. Higgins had like 14 targets last week for like 9 receptions, like 148 yards, and Jamar Chase does what Jamar Chase does at all times. So like I want to see this Bengals team run the table and try to win this division before the season's over.
Yeah, and like Jamar Chase's drop that turned into an interception last week. Like, what if he just didn't drop it? Like that was in his hands, had it, and then it pops up and he tips it over to the receiver. Like those are little things where you can work on in practice. Hey, bro, we're gonna work on this deep ball. Just get it in your hand, and he usually catches it 9 times out of 10. So the other 9 times, that's a touchdown.
I think the 49ers have a great defense, so they can scheme and make fluster Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow showed at times where he's looked not that great. And like the 49ers have the defense and the coaches to do that. But they got to run the ball. If they can't run the ball, they got nothing. And like you said, man, Joe Mixon is the run game. Like he scored a touchdown like 5 straight games, I think. Joe Mixon is the run game right now. He's doing this thing.
All right. And then this is a weird 1 o'clock game. I feel like it's kind of awkward having these teams on 1 o'clock. The Cowboys and the Washington football team.
Damn, that bitch is at 1 o'clock. That is kind of ugly because none of them are on this side of the city, this side of the country like that. But yeah, it's gonna be a close one because this is gonna be a real division statement because like Washington controls their own destiny because I believe they got like 2 games against the Cowboys if we count this one, a game against the Eagles, and they just beat out who's the other person in the division?
The Dirty Giants.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they beat out the Giants already. No, they lost to the Giants on Monday night to that field goal, to that miss. So I want to take the Cowboys, but like I don't know because I wanted to take the Cowboys until I heard that Jerry Jones was like, "Yeah, man, it's the receivers. Like, don't blame it on Dak. It's the receivers." Because I'm like, I think it might be the only way around. I think the receivers are making these plays for Dak. So, but I want to see how they come back from adversity versus a team on a 5-game win streak at home.
I think it's 4-game.
4-game win streak at home.
They kind of lit right now.
So it's tough. This is gonna be a lit ass game, but give me who you got.
You know who I'm rocking with? We rocking with the Cowboys on this side. Dak
You
Prescott,
rock.
Mari, CD, Michael Gallup's healthy, and as a third string, like he's on that like Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin. Like when the whole team healthy, who the fuck's gonna guard? You can't double team nobody. So him getting a 1-on-1 is what he needs. When he's the number one receiver, he gets ate up. But when he's the number three receiver, he's kind of that guy.
I respect it. I'm taking. Oh, I want to take the Cowboys. I don't trust the Cowboys because I don't trust the Redskins either. I mean the football team either. Because like
Like we have Heineke.
The Cowboys offense has been looking a little like shaky, and they had a great game against the Saints. And I feel like the rest of. Did they play last week?
Yeah, they was also they played and they beat they beat the fuck out the Saints.
Oh yeah, so they played on Thanksgiving. So yeah, they got a rest. So like I don't know because I don't know what that defense get on. That defense gonna be there lit. They're gonna be ready to force takeaways from Heineke. They don't have an answer for Scary Terry, but like they're gonna try to. So if you're taking the Cowboys, I want to take the Cowboys, but I'm gonna take the football team because I'm gonna trust in the run game. Antonio Gibson could continue the ball, and like I'm gonna take the football team. I like Heineke not to make crazy mistakes. That's all I ask for a quarterback. That's all I can ask for offense. Be able to run the ball so we can keep it balanced, and when it is your time to throw it, don't make mistakes. And I feel recipe.
You're rocking with two home dogs already, which is okay. Because this next game, I know you're taking the away team. You have the Falcons going to Carolina to play the Panthers. Scam Newton hosting Matt Ryan, Caldwell Patterson, Kyle Pitts. Hey, and low-key, Russell Gage, who kind of snapped last week with 120 yards, I believe, 130 yards and 11 catches.
That's what that boy does. He's a good quiet game. But this is going to be an interesting game because both these teams are very evenly matched, and we're both kind of going for second in division right now. Matt Rule is hot because they fired Joe Brady, like
got that boy out of there.
Matt Rule is next, and it's not like, and it's because he just has no experience. Like he has no experience, and like it's the Panthers organization as a whole. Like you can't just like they've only drafted defense last year. Like maybe if you got CMC some help, maybe if you found a quarterback sleeper in the last 2 years because you've seen that you didn't have one, but now let's get some defense, which is cool. But like you're always gonna have those same problems that you've been having. So it's an even matchup. Cam Newton versus I wonder who's starting. You know who's starting?
I think Cam is starting.
So it's gonna be cool to see Cam in Carolina again. I haven't seen that boy there in a minute. I like us to get this dub. I like us to win by like 2 points because it's a divisional game, 24-26 type of game, and like 24-22 type of game, and like I just don't want to see Hassan Reddick. That boy's had a half the sack in like the last 5 games. He has 10.5 sacks all season. I just don't want to see him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want no smoke with bro. But we got to get this dub back because we lost to Stephon Gilmore off the pick. So, like, we got to get this dub back. But, like, I don't want to see us on Riddick. What do you think is going to happen?
Hey, I will say that their defense is pretty strong. Ryan Burns and Stephon Gilmore. But it is still beatable. I'm going to give Matt Ryan – I'm going to ride the Matt Ryan trade one more time just because I need a couple dogs in my picks. This is my other dog pick here. I think y'all are the better team because if Cam is the starter, he could make some mistakes like AJ Terrell on DJ Moore. DJ Moore, who I like, hasn't really shown me anything too crazy this year to show me why AJ Terrell can't make him only catch like 3 catches for 40 yards or something.
44% completion percentage when you're throwing it his way. He don't play that boy for real.
So yeah, give me the Falcons on the road, and is always divisional, always going to be close. You said 2 points. I like the Falcons low key to put up like 7 points. I expect like a pick six or something from Terrell or something. Just because your defense ain't the best, but at the same time, I think Cam Newton is just gonna be throwing. Like I don't know how much Joe Brady's offense was really making a difference, but without him, I don't know if they're gonna be lost or what. So
It's interesting. Like there's just like a lot of inexperience from the Pat McAfee show. Coach JB was talking about it. Like it's just a lot of inexperience. Like rookie coach, he hired an offensive coordinator that was the co-offensive coordinator at LSU because they had a fucking legendary offense that year. But like,
yeah,
if you look at everybody that was
Chase, Justin Jefferson.
If you look at everybody that was on that team, they're still balling to this day. Like Justin Jefferson's having a standout season right now. Crazy. Jamar Chase about to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Was T. Higgins on that team, or did they just happen?
Oh, and I think T. Higgins was on there too.
So yeah, they're not playing. They recreated that team, and it'd be cool if that team got back together one day. Justin Jefferson made his way to Cincy one day, but like only that's a dream that they can keep dreaming. But like, it's gonna be an interesting game, man. I want to see what goes down. It's because their coaching is really hot right now. We don't know if they're gonna fire them boys, but like the NFL has short attention spans, and we know this.
No, that's true. So next game we have another divisional game. We have the Titans hosting the Jaguars. Give me the Titans. I don't really need to say much. I think Tannehill might run one, throw two. Julio Jones is gonna be back. And that little committee run game they got is gonna be enough to beat Urban Meyer and the Jaguars on the road.
See, I need a raw as puffer jacket for like when the Titans play, so I can have my Julio Jones shirt on all the way in the cut while nobody's looking, to zip all the way up. And when them boys when he make a play, zip it down like, and then zip that bitch all the way back up incognito. Because definitely got the Titans busting them boys, but like I like the Jaguars to keep it to be a little closer. You know how division games get, and this is a game that the Jaguars have a chance to win. I don't know why, but it just feels like this is a game that like Trevor Lawrence won't have to go drive down fourth quarter, because you know I'm not a fan of that boy. If it's a 2-minute drill, let's not give it to him. Let's let our defense make a play or something. But it's not gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a divisional, probably real close to first and second games, and first and second quarter, and then they make their adjustment to third and fourth. But I'm taking the Titans most definitely.
Yeah, easy win. I have a feeling.
But it's interesting to me because like I want to keep watching Ryan Tannehill, because like I don't know if he's a contender, but like for how long?
That's true, but I don't think he's gonna fall off against the Jaguars per se. Maybe whenever he pulls up on the Miami Dolphins defense, we're gonna be talking a different story. But what do you like on? I know you hate this team, but I don't think he's gonna blind you on your pick. You had the Saints going to New York to play the Jets. Taysom Hill's playing with a fucking broken finger. Hey, Tua did it. Stop bitching. We look fine. So, Who you like here?
This is gonna be the first time I've ever done this all season. Give me the Jets.
No, you dirty son of a bitch. I'm picking the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets. I trust them this week. Them boys is due for a win. Don't ask me why.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
I like Robert Saleh. They have 100 options to stop these quarterbacks. And even though they're coming off the bye, I don't like them to come back a different team. Like, I got the Jets. And I'm genuinely hoping the Jets win, because, like, the Saints lose out and they play us, they're going to play us their hardest. And, like, we're going to give them that last L in a row.
That's so crazy. I never picked the Jets. I thought you were going to go in and tell me how the Saints defense is going to win this game. Taysom Hill sucks, but their defense is good enough to beat Zach Wilson and the Jets. But no, I'm on the same boat as you. Give me the Jets. Give me Zach Wilson. Give me this defense who kind of plays pretty good at home every now and then. I just don't think Taysom Hill's the guy. And I think it takes him getting exposed on to really shine the light on the case here. And give me the Jets at home. Then we got another divisional game. We have the Raiders playing the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
This is terrible because like I wanna say something's gonna switch because like I don't like the Chiefs offense to play as good as they did that game Sunday night, in my opinion, because like they balled out against them, Derek and them boys, but like they haven't looked that good since, and I don't like them to play. I don't like this defense, which is a pretty exciting defense, to just allow these teams to keep coming and balling on them like that. So I'm taking the Chiefs, but this is another game where, and this is in Las Vegas, isn't it?
No, it's in Arrowhead. They got blown out in Las Vegas earlier this season.
Oh, I was about to say, give me the home dog, fuck you. But now I'm gonna take the Chiefs because that's smart. Because this defense continues to play like they play. Like I don't know if the offense can continue scoring less than 20 points and expecting to win come January, but they can continue doing what they're doing now. So yeah, give me the Chiefs. Even though I want to take Derek and the boys, I really want to take Derek.
No,
and I feel like they're about to do something funny.
Last time we didn't listen to our guts was when the Titans were playing the Texans. The Titans were on a winning streak. And this is how I'm feeling right now because the Chiefs are on a winning streak. Give me the Raiders. My gut's telling me the same thing your gut's telling you. For whatever reason, like the offense for the Chiefs have only scored 20 twice. In one of the games, they got a pick six. I don't expect them to get a pick six on my boy Derek. Give me the Raiders.
That's crazy. We're gonna see what happens. I'm hoping I'd be happy if Derek and the boys got a dub because I'm always happy when the boys get a quick little dub, but I just don't trust it because like y'all got fucked up on prime time. Like look, let's just be smooth. What time they play? 4 o'clock or
1 o'clock. It's an early game.
Yeah, half the people aren't even gonna, half the fans aren't even gonna get up to watch this shit.
This is the issue though. We haven't seen Jackson Mahomes' brother on the field in a little while. And since they've been winning, and this is supposed to be an easy win, that motherfucker gonna be on the field doing and them boys are gonna lose and get their shit packed and sacked.
Yeah, that shit crazy. They be in that bitch, but like it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, he's gonna come back in thinking it's shit sweet.
That shit gonna be fun. But what's the next game, man? What's the blitz game?
This is an easy one, I think. Seahawks against the Texans, who had finally declared Davis Mills as their starter. Tyrod's on the bench.
And you'll never catch me picking the Texans again. I got the Seahawks most definitely, especially after that win. Rush had like a 99 passer rating, or like 101. He had a decent little passer rating last game. So like I'm trusting Rush to come back, just have a nice game. I don't like him to go crazy and drop. Maybe he'll go 305, but I don't like him to go like 404 touchdowns like he should, because there's the Texans. The Texans ain't really got too many answers for a quarterback of his versatility. But I'm taking the Seahawks most definitely.
Yeah, you can sum it up into 3 words for this pick. The Texans are dead. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Another one I think might be a little easy, but it got a little shaky because COVID poked their nose into it. The Chargers without Keenan Allen now, and maybe no Mike Williams versus the Giants in LA. Give me, I don't know. I don't think Daniel Jones is playing yet, so give me the Chargers with Jay Herbo.
Oh, 100%. You didn't have to ask me twice. But this defense is going to piss Jay Herbo off. I'm calling it now because, like, the Giants know how to stop one thing. If they can confuse the quarterback, they're going to do it all day.
That is true. That Bradbury and that defense is not bad, but I just don't think they had the offensive talent to score points. How do you feel about this one? Divisional game. This is big for playoffs. The Browns hosting the Ravens, and the Browns are favorite at home.
It's interesting that the Browns are favored at home because like they just played and like Baker was banged up and they're coming off a bye week, so they got a little bit more time. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know because like Lamar and the boys is in the lab right now, so this is gonna be the definition of show. It's like, okay, y'all threw 4 interceptions. You threw the last game was ugly. Y'all missed the timing on the last play. So what can y'all do to make what did y'all do to get together? But here's my thing about them that doesn't usually I'd be like, Lamar, he got it, but like I don't know. Because Marlon Humphrey's out, and that was a very important role, part of the defense. And it's next man up. It's next man up, but at the end of the day, I've seen the reasons why that the Ravens went from that team, even though they was number one in the AFC last week. They went from that team that people were thinking could possibly be Super Bowl contenders and like Lamar goes MVP to the like, dang, these boys is winning the division. Like, sure. And I think that's really because of that defense. Like, without that defense and without running the ball, they're not really playing Ravens football like Tony Dungy said. So like that's gonna be the error. So I'm taking Lamar all day, but like the Browns have a chance to settle themselves, and I know we're not bums, but like I think they bums. So I think they're just gonna look like bums tonight.
Kill me now, but give me the Browns.
Most definitely.
Give me the Browns.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just think they're just gonna feed the run game, and this is a secondary that Baker can beat, and on paper it's gonna look good because it's the Ravens and Baker, but they're so banged up that there's a lot of quarterbacks that could probably beat him with, especially with the tight ends that he has and the scheme that he's in and running backs and everything. So I think he actually might have a pretty decent game. And
no cap, but hey man, if Baker and them boys look good, they have 2 weeks to prepare for this game. So if they look good, this is their chance. Because all they have to do last game was score more than 14, and they would have been able to win, like not easily, but they would have been able to win very slighted without being slighted.
Yeah. The next game, another blowout, I think. We got the Broncos hosting the Lions. You think, and the Lions are hit with flus. Everyone on the team, not everyone, but a lot of people on the team got flu.
Fade the Lions. This is what the
Fade
sports
the Lions.
podcast. Fade after a win, fade the Lions. That's what the sport gambling podcast is taught me. Fade the Lions after a win. The Lions and the Jets, I'm gonna fade them every time.
Yeah, and low key, we play the Jets next week, and I went into my pick for picking the Jets this week. Because if they win this week, no way we're losing next week.
That shit real, man.
Yeah, so yeah, give us Teddy B, give us Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, Jerry Jeudy, Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons, Patrick Surtain, Kyle Fuller. They're not no slouches.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm not a member of Bronco County. I'm not a car carrier. I don't even stop to Bronco County to get gas. And I'm a hard line. I got nothing but love for the Lions. But hey, fade the Lions after a win. Fade them.
Yeah, especially how emotional they got after that win. That was like super happy.
It was a close. It was a hard fought game, which is like all the games. But this one went in their favor this time, so it felt good. I respect it.
Well, with the late 4:00 game at 4:25, it's a good one. We got the Buccaneers at Raymond James hosting the Buffalo Bills, coming off a loss against the Patriots.
These games are interesting to me because, well, first off, that loss against the Patriots, where y'all boys was in the cold and snow. So, like, I have a theory that the Bills are gonna ball out because they can play in the sun. I feel like they get a week. You get them some time away from that fucking cold and let them throw some accurate passes and not have to worry about 50-mile wind gusts.
Let the juices flow.
I think this game is going to be good. I wish they had Tre'Davious White so I could feel a little more comfortable picking that secondary to make some moves. But like, I want to take the Bills. I don't think the Bills are the better team, but I'm going to take the Bills on this one.
Their defensive line or linebacker, star Star Louis. I can't. I don't remember his name, but it's like Star something. I know he's out as well for the Bills. I don't know. Is your gut telling you to take the Bills?
Kind of. It's like I just feel like the Bills are gonna play a lot better because I don't think they play bad in the snow. I just think like they didn't adjust for the snow and they couldn't stop what you should have been ready for Bill Belichick to run all over the place. And like I just didn't think they took that shit as serious as they could have. But like I want to pick the Bucks because I feel like the Bucks are a better team. But like I don't like the scheme. Like I like the Bills in this one right here.
Just give me the Bucks because they're already down one star cornerback. And even if you have all your starter cornerbacks, no matter what team you are, the Buccaneers is a hard team to line up against. So if you're down one, they already got the advantage on you. I don't like it. But at the same time, if the Bills lose, I think we're right next to them come next week when it comes to like rankings. Buccaneers.
That's gonna be interesting, man. Y'all boys really shut up on their ass.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers, their defense is always pretty solid. I kind of believe in your theory though that this team, because they did lose at home against the Steelers, and I think they lost a few games at home in the cold, in the wind. But anywhere, every time they travel, they win. So they might travel and put up 30, but I just think the Bucks are gonna put up 33 on their ass, and they win.
Let's see, man. I bet it's gonna be cool. I want to let me know if you see any Bills Mafia people in Tampa, man. Tell them we got tables for them at the Totally Blitz podcast.
Not for real, but I think this should have been the primetime game. But the primetime game at 8:20 on Sunday night is the Green Bay Packers versus the Aaronville Bears. That's why I'm actually rocking this shirt today. I already had a shirt on it, and I saw this in the corner of my closet, and I was like, oh, hold on, let me put this shirt on before we record. Because we're talking about Aaron Rodgers primetime football tonight when Aaron Rodgers beats the crap out of the Bears in Lambeau.
That's funny as fuck. I just don't understand. The Bears get so many primetime games. It amazes me. And I understand it's an historic franchise, a historic rivalry. They probably showed a bunch of videos and all that good stuff. But, like, the Bears get a lot of primetime games. They got a lot of good business over there. I'm not going to lie to them. But you know who I got in this one. I got the mayor, Aaron Rodgers, over there. And Justin Fields is coming back, right?
Yep. After Andy Dalton's poor performance, them motherfuckers is just like, yeah, we're putting Justin Fields back in. All of a sudden, he feels way better.
Yeah, I'd definitely taking the mayor in this one. I like the mayor. That's it. Straight up.
And I think the spread, I know we don't talk spreads a lot, but this is the huge spread. I think it's the biggest of the week. And it was yeah. How do you think the Packers are winning by like 2 touchdowns? Or is this going to be a divisional game?
Yes. No, it's 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. Like, here's the thing, because the Packers own Aaron Rodgers owns Soldier Field and anything Chicago has to do with the Bears. Aaron Rodgers owns that. He has the deeds. But here's the thing: when you come to Lambeau, you got to deal with the whole pack and the cheeseheads. Like, if y'all can't handle business at home, and with y'all over the largest, like, nah, y'all ain't got shit.
Your people?
Yeah, y'all ain't got shit to do now. Y'all barely figuring out who's gonna start this week.
Yeah, like I said, give me the Packers, but good teams win, great teams cover. I think the Packers are blowing the Bears out of the water. 2 touchdowns. That's easy.
I like it. I love it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Monday night, another banger. Divisional games left and right. The Rams going to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Both coming off wins. Monday Night Football. How do you feel?
It's interesting because, like,
they didn't miss with this game. This is a banger.
It's interesting because, like, this is game, like, first off, the Cardinals are already solidified. Now it's kind of like, can they get home field advantage? Can they get to number 1 in the power rankings? You know, the power rankings don't matter. But the Rams, like, yo, y'all are the best team, and there's a drop off after you when it comes to playoffs. So y'all are gonna make the playoffs, but like, what good teams can y'all really, 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 really beat? Because I just said that the Bucks might lose to the Bills, and which are both good teams, but like the Rams aren't beating the best of the best. So like, can they even get a dub? And this is in Arizona, right? It's in AZ. Can they get a dub against the chosen ones? The chosen ones who then got the rest off. I don't like it.
Hey, they got on the Cardinals. They got Chase Edmonds coming back off of IR for this week. Now James Conner won't be the starter. DeAndre Hopkins gonna be one game healthier. Same with Kyler Murray. And all that won't be enough to beat Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and the Rams.
You think so?
Yes, I think so. Them boys are coming in with the heater. They won their last game. I know against the Jaguars, and it doesn't matter. But sometimes all that takes is that one game to be like, all right, let's get our shit together. Because if we beat the Cardinals here, I think this is going to set up to make things a little bit more interesting in this conference for these next couple of weeks. Because if they beat them here, we'll see what happens. Make some things shake. But yeah, give me the Rams. I think this is everyone's on the Cardinals to the point where everyone's saying like, oh yeah, like Matthew Stafford stinks. The Rams aren't that good. They don't beat nobody, and I think
this is just calling them the MVP not too long ago.
Yeah, so I think give me the Rams to kind of quiet some crowds because this on Monday night in front of the big lights. Give me Matty Ice.
Nice. Even though that's not Matty Ice. But,
yeah, that's not. But that's Matt.
I like as long as he don't throw no pick six. But like that's an athletic ass defense. I don't like that boy to make no crazy moves. I'm just mad that they've been getting away from the run game. Like Henderson ain't really done have no games for. I don't know if he's still playing.
He was hurt last game, but he came back. But Sony Michel had all the carries because he was hurt. Like trying to not trying to re-aggravate the injury.
So they got that thorough thing from the Packers, and like if they can pull this win off, then they don't take 2 L's in a row, and they're gonna continue to be that borderline. I'm gonna just catch some good matchups. Like let me just keep winning. See if I can win the division. But if they catch this L right here, they're gonna be solidified as the number like 3 or 4 or 5 like in the playoffs. And I'm not saying like picture. I'm talking like y'all are not gonna be like. Even though a lot of people are taking you to go to the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna say no names
here.
But y'all boys, what's it called? Y'all boys aren't that level yet. Y'all need to get some chemistry.
Yeah, and everyone knows there's always fun watching D-Hop versus Jalen Ramsey coming from the Texans and the Jaguars. They've seen a lot of each other, and it always been
good. All the time.
And so yeah, it's kind of similar tale on the tape where like the D line you got J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Chandler Jones, to Buda Baker in the backfield, the Jalen Ramsey, like, and then on the offense, Cooper Kupp and DeAndre Hopkins, Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray, with a little good run game on both sides, but not great, but good with Darrell Henderson and then James Conner and.
I feel like James Conner is a little more versatile. Like he's gonna get that one hand grab like he did last week.
When they use Chase Edmonds in the backfield more, he's just coming off IR. He was leading the receptions, and then Conner usually gets the bulk of the rush work.
He's got a trade for Joe Mixon.
But yeah, give me the Rams. I like that. That makes it interesting. Some of the games I kind of like that because I didn't expect this to be on the Jets together, but I do like how we're kind of on the opposite sides on some of the bigger games, like the Bills and the Rams and the Ravens and the Chiefs.
It's gonna be a fun week, a fun ass week. I make sure I get a lot of sleep Saturday because I'm trying to really articulate and peep out. I want to peep the whole league now because I want to see who's really in a playoff mode.
Yeah, and I'm paying attention to the AFC teams. I'm kind of rooting for more of the NFC teams to win on the high because I just need to because we have a bye this week and we might pop up a little bit better in the rankings if some of these AFC teams lose this week without us doing nothing. Not rankings, but in the hunt status of everything.
It's gonna be good. Let's see, man. I want to see. I was like, I haven't ever kind of jumped with out once this season, but like, except for when y'all got me wrong against the Bills, that shit hurt. But I want to see y'all boys been winning. Like y'all got the formula, and y'all got like your energy, your powers in your hands right now. Because that 7 seed is up for grabs.
100% keeps everything fun. But with that note, lead us out, Kev. Bust it down for everybody.
It's time to break it down one more time for y'all boys. I've been over here like Pat's, what's it called, going in and out because the nigga been going through it. Niggas be on the grind. You're not on the grind. Get on your grind, you bitch. Motherfucking, it's been your boy Lil KK, your bitch. That boy Paul Pickham winning concert with the big beard and the bigger bankroll, your bitch. No clout goggles this week for y'all. Why? Because y'all some bitches. But hey, man, this been a totally Blitz podcast, dog. If you watching this still, I fuck with you the long way, man. My barber fuck with you the long way, man. Y'all gonna keep him paid one day. Paul fuck with you the long way, man, and we gonna keep making moves the long way. We've been plotting on a lot of good stuff. Hey, shout out anybody making moves. And boys, Pat McAfee signed 4 years, 120 mil. Shout out anybody making moves. Anybody making boss moves, making big plays and getting checks. Because we up next, though. That's all we got to say about it. But hey, man, we fuck with y'all the long way. And it's been another episode. What is it? Episode 27. A totally Blitz. Yeah, bitch.
Got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you